Okay, guys, we're back. A different port on the Dart LS3 Pro1 280s. Now, this one is much closer to stock. It does have a light burr finish, and it did have the big ridges taken down around the chamber. It has a cartridge roll on the chamber, but it definitely flows different than the one right next to it that's all cartridge rolled. Now, it does have different size throats. These are what the throats were stock, okay? And this is the throats for the last video. So everything's a little bit smaller on this one. And you will notice some differences. Now, if we compare the blue inside this bowl, that is quite a bit narrower than this, okay? I like the wide pattern. This one has a touch of blue on the left side. This doesn't have anything. This has much more coming out of the chamber and hitting the chamber. This one's relatively clean. These were both done at 750 lift. Let's take a look at the bore. Okay, very similar to the last one. Very little swirl at that point, 750 lift. In fact, the swirl meter said 0. Okay, down its throat, much closer to stock. It does have some burr work, but a lot of the port has been untouched. And it was quite interesting to flow. You guys will like this. On the intake valve, it actually has a little bit, it looks like it's a little wider on the valve, which is just the opposite of what we had. We had a narrow pattern on the valve before and wider in the bowl before than we have now. Okay, the short side does have a cartridge rolled finish. Okay, the exhaust has the stock Dart radius in it, stock Dart throat. You can see the valve guide boss has not been touched, but it does have some burr cleanup. Okay, on this exhaust, it has a burr finish on the short side, whereas before we had a cartridge roll finish on the exhaust. Okay, guys, we're going to go from the first one we looked at with the 60 grit to a light burr work. This has also got the big guide bosses and so forth in it. How did we do as flow? Well, this is what we did the first time. This is what we did the second time. These pluses and minuses are in reference to these. We got minus, 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 noise, plus, 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 minus, 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 plus. Okay, it's really hit or miss through the whole curve. Now you have to wonder if it's worth doing all the sand roll work. It's a lot of time to get a port sand rolled right. You know me, I like the burr finish myself. And let's take a look at our swirl. Our swirl progression actually took a step back. Right? We got minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, 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 equals, 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 plus. But here we've got 820, here we got 700. That actually went down a little bit. This port also, part of it, about half the port is completely stock. Okay? So let's take a look at our airspeeds and let's compare them. Okay, guys, so the top sheet is our light burr work. I put pluses and minuses in reference to the cartridge roll. All right, we've got a plus, minus, plus, very even from top to bottom. That's good. That's not holding us back. Our roof did change quite a bit. All right, it's actually using the roof of the bowl a little better on the burr finish, even with the giant guide boss that's in our way. Now, it does have less area because of the big guide boss. That may be a contributing factor to this. And the texture is a burr finished and not a cartridge roll, so that would make a slight bit of a difference. As far as our short side, minus, minus, minus. Okay? This is not pushing the short side as hard as our sand roll finish is.
He's
All
got
right,
some
guys.
good videos.
He does. Brian, yeah, Brian does have good videos. All right, we're back. Let's do some pluses and minuses. Okay, guys, you're going to like this. This is our light burr port with the huge guide boss. Right? That's it right there. That's what we are measuring. Let's take a look at the other end of that. I don't know if I showed you. I don't think I did. Sorry, guys. Pause button got me again, but that's the roof. All right, it does have some cartridge roll, but most of that port is burr finished. And it absolutely stomped the real pretty cartridge roll one. Let's take a look. These pluses and minuses are in reference to the 60 grit. Minus, 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 noise, noise, noise. We got noise in the same spot, but we're already making gains here. Plus, plus, plus through the whole curve. Not little pluses, big pluses. All right, 263 at 300, 247.7. Huge difference. Much fatter, thicker curve. Take a look, 600, 230, 214. 750, we're at 227, 237, 10 at 750, where this is going to run. Put a pipe on it, we'll go from 252.4 to 262, almost 10. Absolutely crushed it. Okay, our air speeds are quite interesting. Top sheet is the light burr. So these pluses and minuses are in reference to these. 336 to 320, down, right? Down, down. How even are we side to side? This one was more even than this, side to side. These overall are slightly slower speeds. Except in the middle here, right, we pick up both. And here we pick up. So overall, these air speeds are more even than these. Now, some of that has to do with the increased throat ratio. Okay, this has got a little bit smaller throat ratio. So if you think about how that focuses the airflow to the center of the port, and then it can expand out after it, you can start to figure out what's going on. Very interesting, but this is the way to go. Now, this also has the burr texture on the short side, which is not something I usually do. I think if we polish up that short side, that'll get even better. All right, guys. We have another head coming up. Brodix LS3 coming up. So stay tuned. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night.